What do you think?
I disagree.
Oh, shit. Are we going to fight now?
Have you heard of this vanilla World of Warcraft server that got shut down?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I knew you were going for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there's this private server that people set up, and technically it's illegal to set it up from Blizzard's point of view, and everybody else's point of view too, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically it emulated World of Warcraft as it was before the first expansion released, which is all fine and dandy and stuff, and people actually really liked it. Yeah, people really liked it, and it got a lot of attention. Generally, when you bring attention to a legal thing, lawyers get involved.
Nasty lawyers.
Yeah, they got a cease and desist, and they're shutting down. And
they're actually shutting down?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay, I thought they were just getting sued. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my topic isn't actually specifically about that.
Yeah, I think.
But
I know
the
where your
fact that
topic's
the server was super popular.
Yeah.
Seems like people might actually really like grind-heavy games.
It appears that way, but I should make note of something that you told me before too. That particular server would allow you to play like a pirated version of the game where you didn't have to have a sub as well?
Yeah.
Could that be a reason that it was also popular?
Potentially, but it was also a fair amount of work to find the server and get onto the server and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, players had to make some investments to start playing it.
Okay.
So I don't believe like the freeness is actually a huge factor in how popular it would be.
So what's your question specifically?
What do you think of the fact that most game developers don't make games that require a lot of grinding anymore?
Well, I think grinding was a good way to pad out a game back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with like the older Final Fantasy games. Like people are like, oh, they're so long and they're massive. But when you really think about it, it's a lot of the same action over and over again. I mean, sure, they're big games, but if you pad down all that grinding, that 60-hour game turns into more of a 20, 18-hour game. Maybe even less. So, I don't know. Grinding is fine. Some people really enjoy it. I used to enjoy quite a bit of it, but as I find I'm getting older and I'm just having less time in the day, I'm like, fuck it, I do not have time for this. Like, I don't have time to do the same action over and over again. Someone tried to get me into WoW once, couldn't do it, don't have the patience for it. So that's where I'm personally at with it. So I think grinding is not for me, and I think it's probably better for the industry as a whole if we move away from that maybe a little bit. What do you think?
I disagree.
Oh, shit! Are we going to fight now?
No.
Oh, man.
I think the big thing about grinding is that it creates investment in the game for the player.
Okay.
So if they've invested all this time into doing this, difficult stuff, as long as they feel like that investment is worth it, then that's probably a good exchange for them as a whole. And that's kind of where we're at, like when we compare World of Warcraft today to what it was then. Then you had to put a lot of work, but you did get this like really big accomplishment, this cool thing, whether it was like an epic for doing like a couple week-long quest line, or you grinded levels for months and you finally got to level 60. Like that used to be cool back in the day. Now getting max level is expected for anyone playing for a couple weeks. And so the old World of Warcraft created this huge investment requirement, but made sure the reward was really good.
Okay.
What it's moved towards now today is like minimum investment and kind of lackluster rewards in comparison.
Okay, I see where you're going there, but I want to touch back on a little more interesting point because I find this is a more interesting topic for myself personally. So you really do enjoy the grinding aspect of games, but I think that sense of immersion and that sense of accomplishment that you feel when you complete a game can be achieved in a more elegant manner, if that's the right way to say it. Like, I think it can be done through story and immersive environments rather than just do the same thing 800 times.
Yeah, definitely. So there's good grinding and bad grinding.
Yeah.
Good grinding, an example of World of Warcraft, is that giant quest chain where you know, you have to make moon cloth. In order to make moon cloth, you need rune cloth or whatever it's called. But you have to like go to a moon well and like mix it with the waters there. Like that's
are
cool.
you?
Immersive.
What-
I know that's nerdy.
This is the nerdiest
It's nerdy
thing
as hell.
I've heard.
But like, so that's cool.
Okay,
Immersive. And,
whatever.
like people really dig that. But then there's other type of grinding like kill 20 boars, kill 20 spiders.
And that was the exact mission that I had the first time I played it. It was like kill 20 boars, and I was like,
Well, it's exactly what the South Park episode makes fun of.
yeah, because that's what
And
you
they
get
know,
into.
so yeah, there's good and bad grinding. However, I don't feel like removing grinding is the answer to fixing bad grinding, which is kind of the answer that most people in the game industry has made.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a fair point. It is a fair point. I think a lot of games shouldn't have grinding,
Yeah, there's plenty
but
of
there's
games it doesn't
some
suit.
games that it definitely absolutely fits. But like, what particular genre of game would you think would be like grinding, like an action RPG?
Yeah, well, RPGs especially are,
Yeah,
you know, things that really benefit from making the player grind because the whole point of the game is investing in your character.
right. But if you're good enough, you shouldn't have to grind.
Yeah, well, certainly in an action RPG, like if you're talking something more like Dark Souls or like Gauntlet that we were playing earlier.
Yeah. Well, that game has no leveling at all.
Yeah.
It's really intriguing, which is something we should talk about in another episode because I found that intriguing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like, yeah, there's some games where investment in your character is very different from investment in your own skills at the game. So, you know, if you want to like contrast those two things, like RuneScape, where you try to get all your skills up to 99 on your character, that's very different than say something like StarCraft, where everybody's on an equal playing field and they're all
Right.
investing in their own skill at playing the game.
Yeah.
Whereas in RuneScape, you're just doing mindless things to just get a number up, so
Yeah.
your character is better
Okay.
rather than yourself. But yeah, a lot of RPGs do kind of fall in the middle. Dark Souls is one of those things where you can invest in your character, you can level them up, get them better gear and stuff, but there's also this huge learning curve for yourself as a player. I think those tend to be my favorite games, actually.
Where you learn? Yeah.
Yeah, where your player grows and you grow as well.
Growth for everyone.